Hello there, my name is Kay Lyndon Toba. I'm in search of a platform where I can get credible information of our daily happenings in Liberia and the world at large.
Hello, Lyndon Toba. My name is Gregfina Korishpa. Haven't you heard about Focal Online TV?
You say Focal Online TV?
Focal Online TV is located within a Tobo village community along the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on the show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headline.
All right, fellow Liberians, good morning, good evening, wherever you are watching us from. My name is Kate Lyndon Toba. We want to sincerely apologize for coming up very late. It was due to some technical engagement that involved our broadcast, but our team on ground has been able to swiftly resolve that particular issue. So we are here to bring you the major happenings pertaining to our country, Liberia, and pertaining to what is taking place currently at the moment on today's holiday. So yesterday should have been the holiday, the Armed Forces Day in Liberia. Practically in our Liberian context, we generally refer Sunday as another holiday. So the president, through his thoughtfulness, through his foresight, was able to extend the holiday, which is the Armed Forces Day, to today. But we are getting a lot of report that there is an ongoing protest involving members of the armed forces of Liberia pertaining to this year's celebrations. As you may be aware, a few days ago, the president appointed Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Colonel Prince Johnson, as the Defense Minister, based upon his resignation. So he was appointed as Minister of National Defense, and there was some other reshuffling done within the armed forces of Liberia. However, we are getting reports that the armed men has started to protest. They have been protesting regarding the fact that Prince C. Johnson is not the kind of person. He's somebody who doesn't deserve to be appointed, and those are the kind of informations. But all of those informations are being embedded within the content of all of those newspapers. We are going to read. So let's take a short break. When we come back, we give you the headlines from the various news paper. It's good to be back here. Welcome back. It's good to be back here. So let's go over to the Daily Observer newspaper. It says Sarah Beslow Yanti orders confirmed. That is what the Daily Observer is reporting. Sarah Beslow Yanti orders confirmed. So let's give you the content of this particular news article. The Liberian Senate has unanimously confirmed Madam Sarah Beslow Yanti as the Minister of Foreign Affairs and other presidential nominees. The Senate reached a decision in a special session on Friday, February 9, 2024. Others confirmed nominee are Roland Giddings as Minister of Public Works, Councillor J. Ko Bangalu, Minister of Youth and Sports, and Madam Benny Hura Collins as Minister of Gender, Children and Protection. The body also confirmed that Louis Poto for the post of Minister of Health. Following the confirmation of these nominees, the President of the Liberian Senate and Vice President of Liberia, Jeremiah Ku, mandated the Secretary of the Senate to communicate the decision to the executive. So that is what the Daily Observer newspaper is reporting relative to this headline that I just read to you. Let's go over to another headline. Senate confirms second batch of nominees. Senate confirms second batch of nominees affecting the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Agriculture, the Liberia National Police, the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, several getting check marks from senators. The Senate has confirmed the second batch of presidential nominees after they were examined by senators on their competence, credentials, and experiences at the confirmation hearing held on Wednesday. The Liberian National Police Director General designated Conan Gregory Coleman and Director General of the Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency Abraham A. Kruman were yesterday unanimously confirmed, along with several other nominees by the plenary of the Liberian Senate. The decision by the Liberian Senate, presided over by the President of the Senate, Vice President Jeremiah Ku, to confirm the nominees were based on reports from various statutory committees and standing committees of the Liberian Senate, including Ways, Means and Finance, Defense, Security, Veterans Affairs, Education, Agriculture, and Commerce. These confirmed are Dr. Elizana Nwate, Minister of Agriculture, and Ami Mudad, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Dr. Jaso Meli, Minister of Education. Dr. Nyatwe is an agricultural economist. He is currently a full-time consultant for the World Bank Food Security Crisis Preparedness Plan Development Liberia. Nwata has also served for several years as assistant professor for agricultural economics at the University of Liberia. Prior to these jobs, he worked with the United Nations World Food Program as a value chain food system expert, a program policy officer, and a livelihood consultant. Nwata holds a master's degree in regional economics and a PhD in agricultural economics, both from China Agricultural University. He also holds a certificate for completions on the Oriental Scholar Program on Governance at China Peking University. Ami Mujahid is a hotel and food processing entrepreneur. He is the CEO of Bele Casa Hotel and Suites, founded in 2005, as well as the CEO of Atlantic Food Company, founded in 2015. He once served as consultant to the Ministry of Commerce during the administrations of President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. He is a chairman emeritus of the ruling Unity Party and a member of the board of directors of the African Methodist Episcopal University. Mudai obtained his bachelor's degree in political science and government from the University of Liberia and his political degrees in business administration and management from the University of Phoenix, Arizona, USA. Dr. Sigbe has a PhD in higher education leadership from the Delaware State University, USA. He is currently Associate Vice President Academic Affairs student at the Delaware State University. Prior to joining the faculty at Delaware State University, Mr. Sagbe served as Deputy Director General for Training and Manpower Development at the Liberia Institute for Public Administration, LIPA. She also served as an academic advisor, and adjunct faculty at the University of Rhode Island. The Liberian Senate also confirmed Gregory Coleman as Inspector General of the Liberian National Police, Abraham S. Crumman as Director of Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency, and Sam Gay as Director of the Executive Protection Service. Coleman is a renowned security executive, public policy manager, and administrator with risk mitigations and analytics capabilities, a community relation expert with extensive orchestrating security and enforcement activities, and developing outreach plan while devising sensitive strategies and tactics. In 2016, Gregory previously served as Inspector General of the Liberian National Police and Chairman of the West African Police Chief Committee, WAPO. Also confirmed for the respective post at the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning I, Bill McGee Jones, Deputy Minister for Administration, Elhuti Nito, Comptroller and Accountant General, Anthony G. Myers, Deputy Minister for Fiscal Affairs, Dapu Y. Zwo as Deputy Minister for Commerce and Management Planning, and Tannen G. Bursin, Deputy Minister for Budget and Development Planning. Also yesterday, the Senate endorsed a joint report by the Committee on Public Account and Audit and Banking Currency mandated to investigate the conflicting turnover of the government consolidated account to President Joseph Yuma Boakai by former President George Manuel Weah, former President Weah, in a national broadcast disclosed that his government was leaving the amount of 40 million in the country consolidated account. But a week later, President Joseph Boakai reported that the amount in the turnover was 20.5 million. But in their report yesterday, the Joint Committee, among several other observations, concluded that the meet ways to put the matter to rest as to institute a comprehensive audit of the consolidated account. Endorsing the report, the Senate, through Vice President Jeremiah Kwanku, mandated that Senate Pro Tempore of the Senate, Nobly Kanga Lawrence, authorized the General Auditing Commission to proceed with the audit. So this is how we move over to the New Dawn newspaper. New Dawn newspaper say, neck cut pen down. That is a question they are asking. Neck cut pens down. It appears like authorities of the National Elections Commission were cut pens down on Wednesday, February 7th, when they secretly certificated Representative Tom Goswal of Grand Bassa County, District 5, and made a pending electoral dispute. It all happened on Wednesday afternoon after Representative Goswal challenger, Mr. Dwasi Dennis, filed a complaint before the NEC Board of Commissioners detailing irregularities from the January 24, 2024 special recount as ordered by the Supreme Court on January 17. Mr. Dennis and her team of lawyers initially took the complaint to the legal office at the National Elections Commission, but were advised to drop it as the commission reception, where it had to be registered and signed before delivery at the legal office. Mr. Dennis and her legal team compiled, hoping to hear from NEC legal department to go through the complaint. An hour later, Mr. Dennis' phone rang. It was a call from NEC office. Beaming with smile, she opened the call, but it was not the conversation she expected. She was told to return and collect her complaint folder while Goswal was being certificated somewhere in NEC's compound. Sources at NEC said most of the commissioners were not even briefed about the existence of the new complaint that was now before its legal office when the certification was taking place. An hour later, upon hearing the message, Kennedy Dennis and her legal team declined to return to pick up their complaint. What has been filed has been filed, they said. While on the other side, NEC proceeded with its secret certification of Goswal. Meanwhile, As as if that was enough, Ghostwire certification by the National Elections Commission official also comes amidst a pending writ of McDonald's, which is expected to be issued today by the Supreme Court. The case involved an electoral dispute between Representative Kennedy Dwight C. Dennis and Representative Ghostwire falling out of October 10, 2022 representative election result from District 5 Grand Bassa County, where Kennedy Dennis emerged as the second run-up, a result she has since challenged. On January 16, the Supreme Court ordered the NEC to conduct a recount of the results from 78 polling centers, including the disputed district, but they did only 70, leaving out 10. Moreover, not only did NEC intentionally leave out 10 of the boxes, but the representative ballot papers which were placed in the representative ballot boxes containing green colored ballot boxes stickers surfaced for the recount in ballot boxes with red ballot stickers. The red ballot boxes stickers were for the presidential ballot paper boxes used on October 10, thus resulting in shortage of some of the ballot papers. On the 26th of January, immediately after the out of the recount, Kennedy Dennis filed a bill of information before the NEC board, subsequently amended seen on February 1, but NEC board declined to entertain the bill of information on ground that they lacked jurisdiction. But not being satisfied, she announced an appeal to the board decision, but later withdrew seen and filed a bill of information before the Supreme Court. In Chambers, Associate Justice James Eto Wodo, calling the full bench of the Supreme Court, declined to issue a writ against NEC. This prompted the complainant to fight a writ of mandamus. In her complaint filed before the NEC, Kennedy Dennis, among other things, argued that NEC did not successfully implement the Supreme Court mandate as it was mandated to do so. She also argued that the recount team refused to reconcile the closing sealed numbers of the October 10, 2023 ballot boxes to that of the opening seal of January 2023, 2024. Most of the seal came broken from the boxes. The returning of representative boxes, not just with broken seal, but appearing in boxes with presidential sticker, violated the new elections law chapter 4.12 parrot, which states, place all ballot boxes paper cast at the elections in the ballot boxes, close and seal the ballot box and forward it to the commission office. Kennedy Dennis also revealed how NEC magistrate David Logan and staff moved into the NEC magistrate office and stayed there 4 nights from the 18th to the 22nd of January before the recount. Despite some of the ballot papers in the boxes decreasing and increasing as compared to what was reconciled and sealed on October 10, 2023, the total number of ballot papers increased by 20. When this paper called NEC Executive Board of Directors, she referred this writer to one Tiadi. Several calls and text messages placed to Tiadi were unanswered. It remains to be seen how NEC will handle this case as the candidate await the outcome of the petition for writ of mandamus against NEC following the inductions of Representative Ghostwire into office as Thursday, February 8 by the House of Representatives. How much Bouakai worth? How much Bouakai worth? That is another story reported by the New Dawn newspaper. How much Bouakai worth? President Joseph Jomaine Bouakai has declared his absence before the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission less than a month after assuming office. Mr. Bouakai has promised to lead anti-corruption efforts in his administration, and he has ordered 3 state agencies, including the Central Bank of Liberia, to be audited. He succeeded former Liberian so-called icon Ambassador George Man, we are following a tense election process last year. We are regime faced allegations of corruption, and several of his top officials were placed on U.S. sanctions. While declaring his asset Thursday, February 8, 2024, at the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, Ambassador Bwaka said his action to declare his assets demonstrated his unwavering commitment to promote transparency and ensure accountability. As leader, we must lead by example. Despite the confronting challenges in our country, we must set the pace for others to follow, said Ambassador Bwaka. In this vein, I have declared my asset here today to ensure transparency and accountability, which I think is in the right path of advancing our countries going forward. He continued. We must act morally and responsibly if we hope to advance, flourish, and lead this nation as a future for the next generation, he noted. President Bwaka also stressed the importance of upholding principle of honesty as president of the state. In order to in order for them to evaluate me in the future, I therefore disclose my assets to ensure that they are aware of what I am bringing to the table. Those in fulfilling my pledge, this is what I have done, said President Bwaka. President Bwaka noted that openness and transparency are the cornerstone of good governance. As leader, he said he will ensure the right thing is done in the interest of the people, stating that he has come to serve and leave an impact. President Bwaka then urged his officials to follow suit, adhere to the highest ethical standards, stating, we must hold ourselves accountable to the people we serve. Meanwhile, what is in Bwaka's Access Declaration is the mouth-watering questions on the lips of his critics who, who have to wait on the LCC to make them available. Mr. Bwaka served the 29th Vice President of Liberia from 2006 to 2018 under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. Before then, before that role, he also served as Agriculture Minister from 1983 to 1985. Mr. Bwaka also served as Chief Technical Advisor on Agriculture Policies at the Ministry of Agriculture, where he constituted a review and evaluated the Liberian 1986 proposed Green Revolution and FAO World Bank, the 1986 Agriculture Sector Review Document. He evaluated the AMSCO Amsterdam funded training program for projects in Uganda in 1994 and Tanzania in 1996. The president is also said to be the owner of Tusu Resource Corporation and co-owner of the Agro Mechanics in Liberia. President Bwaka also worked as a resident manager, Liberia Produce Marketing Corporation (LPMC) from 1973 to 1980, and managing director among other positions. On Wednesday, the 7th of February, President Bwaka and Vice President Bwaka led a team of national government officials to take an anti-drug test after Bwaka had declared drug a national health emergency during his State of the Nation's address held on January 29 before the 55th National Legislature. The president also assured Liberians about his government's commitment to vigorously address substance abuse in the country with urgency, reaffirming his commitment to leading a drug-free state. President Bwaka also said taking the drug test is in keeping with his commitment to lead by example. He told reporters that the action was in fulfillment of his promise to lead the anti-drug campaign by being the first person along with his vice president to take the test, which could boost the fight against substance abuse. The test was conducted by the Wellness Partners Clinic here, a local health facility that reports the president and vice president tested negative and showed to no trace of illegal substances in their body. With this being said, this is how we will transition strictly over to Front Page Africa newspaper. What is Front Page Africa newspaper reporting? The protests against the confirmations of General Prince C. Johnson as Minister of Defense has spread to Bangabong County. That is what Front Page Africa newspaper is reporting. Similar protests are taking place simultaneously on Robert Few Highway in Monrovia, Calcutta, Mayagüez County, and Grangeda County as the wives and widows of personnel of the armed block road and calling on President Joseph Boakai to rescind his nominations of General Johnson. On Monday, wives of the armed forces of Liberia soldier assigned at the Camp Topman military barrack in Banga are calling on President Boakai to dismiss General Johnson, who was recently confirmed by members of the Liberian Senate. They said women. They said women General Johnson allegedly denied their husband some benefit and incentive while serving as chief of staff of the armed forces of Liberia over the years. Along some members of the rule, along, along some of the parts of the rule, there were no movement of vehicles as the main highway were blocked off by the women. They threatened not to remove the roadblocks until General Johnson is displaced by President Joseph Boakai. With this being said, this is how we transition over to another headline. They say President Boakai calls for low-key Armed Forces Day celebrations amid continuous protests by wives and widows of Armed Forces of Liberia personnel. We'll read that headline again. President Boakai calls for low-key Armed Forces Day celebrations amid continuous protests by wives and widows of armed forces personnel. For the past 2 days, the women have carried out protests blocking the main route leading to the country's only international airport and other major routes. The President Joseph Boakai, on the eve of Liberia Armed Forces Day celebration, has issued a directive for a scale-back observance. The president's call for a reduced activity comes amidst ongoing protests from the wives and widows of the armed forces personnel. They have urged President Boakai to reconsider his nomination of the former Chief of Staff, Major General retired Prince C. Johnson III, as Minister of Defense. For the past 2 days, the women have carried out protests blocking the main route leading to the country's only international airport and other major routes. The women have threatened to disrupt the celebration if the request to the president was not granted. A press release issued by the executive mansion on Sunday evening states, directed by His Excellency Joseph Dimon Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, February 11, 2024, program marking the observance of the 67th anniversary of the Armed Forces Day will be reduced to a short and low-key activity. His Excellency Joseph Dimon Boakai, President of the Republic of Liberia and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Liberia, gave the directive this evening, February 11, 2024. The President will lead official on a visit with the men and women of the armed forces at the Edward B.M. Kessler Barrack in Shafrin, Mayagüez County on Monday, February 12, 2024. Meanwhile, the President met with the aggrieved women on Sunday and he listened to their grievances. According to the executive mansion, the women highlighted challenges they are currently experiencing at the Edward B.M. Kessler Barrack in Shafrin. These include retirement benefit, low salary, corruption, lack of adequate insurance, education, poor housing, lack of electricity, social services, and their general welfare. They stated these challenges have lingered on for too long without redress as the military leadership has remained indifferent. President Boakai showed the women that their grievances could be thoroughly investigated with a view of finding redress where possible. He promised to constitute a committee to probe into the matter and provide a report within a week's time. In the interim, the Liberia Electricity Corporation has restored electricity at the Edward B.M. Kessler Barrack upon the orders of the Commander-in-Chief. The President has also declared the Linda Thomas Greenfield School at the Edward B.M. Kessler Barrack tuition free. During their protest over the weekend, the We Women described the new defense minister as a dreadful, power-drunk, inhuman, impassionate, corrupt, and blood-sucking vampire. On Saturday morning, the women set up roadblocks on RIA Road, held placards and chanting anti-Johnson slogan, calling on President Joseph Boakas to recall his nomination for what they termed as a inhuman treatment meted out against husband by him and his former boss as defense minister Daniel Zianga. We have come here today as the voices of those daily men who by law, the Constitution, the Defense Act, the Geneva Conventions, and the rendering then as dog for organization who cannot voice out their pains, frustration, deprivation, marginalization, and untold poverty willfully, deliberately placed on us and our children by former Defense Minister, retired General Daniel Zianga, and chief architect of the modern Pharaoh of our time in persons of Major General Prince Charles Johnson. And the army wife said the women again carried out a protest on the Rabat International Highway in Douala, setting up roadblocks causing inconveniences for travelers. Major General Prince Johnson, retired, led the army during the administrations of President George Manuel from 2018 to 2024. He was nominated by President Joseph Boakas to serve as Minister of National Defense, and it confirmed the Liberian Senate he will replace Daniel Zianga, who served in the role for the last 6 years under the past administration. There was no major protest. The defense minister designated during the ring as the army chief of staff. However, there were reports of disillusionment by some members of the army and their wives over the maltreatment meted out against them by General Johnson. We, the wives, represented the various military centers, including the Camp Totman Military Barrack in Rangidet County, Banga Military Barrack in Bon County, Todi Military Barrack in Montserrat County, Lofa Military Barrack, Coast Guard, and Star Base Military Barrack, the military police barrack at the Smell Notice Rabat International Airport, and the home of the 23rd Infantry Brigade, the Edward B.M. Cassidy Military Barrack in Lower Margiri County. They, among other things, accused the General Johnson of not remitting all of their monies and benefit of the armed forces of Liberia soldiers on UN peacekeeping missions abroad. They also accused General Johnson and former Minister Zianga of unfair employment practices. Under their leadership, they said there was no sound retirement policies and soldiers and family lived in poor housing facility. The protesters barricaded the main road leading to the Rabat International Airport for hours, leaving travelers departing the country at risk of missing out their flight due to the barricade in front of the barracks. This drew the attention of the government and the international community. The women told airport residents Representative Josephine Nkrumah and Police Inspector General Gregory Coleman and their husband were deliberately deprived and marginalized by General Johnson and former Defense Minister Zianga. Despite the meeting with the police chief and Mr. Nkrumah, the women continued their protest until Vice President Nkrumah intervened. The women reportedly gave a 24-hour ultimatum to convene a meeting with the president to ensure an amicable solution. They, however, maintain that Johnson's dismissal is not out of the discussion because he lacks the interest in former and current soldiers. With this being said, this is how we would take a very short break. When we come back, we read a story regarding stories from the Hot Pepper newspaper, rather. Okay, welcome back, folks. Let's go over to the Hot Pepper newspaper. Hot Pepper newspaper say in July election case could provide 17 amended orders. The Supreme Court of Common Pleas of Delaware County, Pennsylvania, the United States of America, has provided 17 amendments to guard both parties of the Union of Liberia associations in the Americas during and after the election slated for March 2nd, 2024. The court first amendment says that prior to the Elections Commission's approved delegate list of the September 2023 election covering Ohio, Georgia chapters will participate in the March 2nd elections in the United States of America. These chapters, according to the amended order as stipulated by all councils, will provide the antonym list of eligible voters, and the antonym will compare these lists with the delegate list for the September elections and register eligible voters who will previously be excluded. Count 2 of the amended order states that all matters on which the attorney cannot agree will be referred to the judge. With this being said, this is how we move over to the last headlines on the Hot Pepper newspaper. They say new AFL Chief of Staff Folkley takes charge. Retired Major General Princey Johnson III, who has been nominated by President Joseph M. Boakai for the position of Minister of Defense, has handed over the authority to the newly appointed Chief of Staff of the Armed Forces of Liberia, Colonel Davison F. Foley. The turnover ceremony was held on Monday, February 5, 2024 at the Barclay Training Center. It featured the signing of turnover documents, military drills, and a change of command execution. In his remarks, General Johnson credited his success as Chief of Staff to the support of his fellow soldiers and his predecessors, Major General Daniel D. Zianga. He encouraged a Brigadier General Foley to ensure that the army remain a non-political, political, and integrity institution in all circumstances. Speaking, Brigadier General Foley expressed his delight at assuming the highest seat in the military and promised to build upon the expertise and legacy of his two predecessors. Former Defense Minister Daniel D. Zianga, who is seen as the father figure and symbol of leadership in the army, expressed his joy at seeing his dedicated colleague excelled in leadership position and offered his guidance and support. Both General Johnson's and outgoing Deputy Chief of Staff, General Geraldine Jeanette George Johnson, were honored with flag symbolizing their authority and legacy. With this being said, this is how we want to thank all of you for consistently following our broadcast here on today. My name is K. Lyndon Togba. I'm very, very sorry for the quality of my voice on today. You know, the call is not very easy, especially this month of February. The call is not very easy. My voice quality is not very, very, very good as it used to be. But however, we want to thank all of you who have since been following our live broadcast here on today. We are very sorry that Grafina, who normally served in the position as the head of this news presentation, is unable to be here due to some personal engagement. So, however, we will be back here by 4 o'clock to bring you another program inside the print media focal point as it is regularly scheduled. So many thanks to all of you who have consistently been following. My name is K. Lyndon Togba. Bye bye from my end. Okay, I see Thomas B. Cassell. I'm watching from my comfort zone in Electoral District 12. So, Thomas, I want to say congratulations. Keep following our live broadcast. That's my buddy, Thomas Cassell, a professional media colleague Thomas has worked here as a temporary staff, but currently he works with the Witness TV and FM. So we are partners in progress. So many thanks to all of you who are consistent by following. We want you to be following Focal Online TV as possible. We hope to see you next time. I see you when I see you again. Bye.